Henry is a founding member of the group The Spinners, who are coming to Greensburg on Valentine's night, along with my friend, the Reverend Eddie Holman. So, are you still doing a lot of touring, Henry?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am, Arnie. It's good talking to you, and thank you for having me on your show. Yes, we're still doing a lot. Should I say a lot of touring around the world now. And the guys that I have with me now, the audience have accepted them just like my beginners, So everything is going great for the Spinners at this moment.
You formed the Spinners in 1954, is that correct?
Yes, that's the beginning. We talk about amateur years, the years that we thought about forming a group, because back at that time, most of the artists at that time that was so popular was vocal groups, and you had the Flamingos, Moonglows, the Drifters, and the Clovers, all the different kind of singing groups, and we formed our group back then in Ferndale, Michigan, Rollo Township. In fact, when we first started, when you put a business together, it never end like you began, So we have had some changes in it, because the first 5 guys that we started with was James Edwards, Crafton Spencer, Henry Frambrough, Billy Henderson, and Purvis Jackson. And I think James stayed with the group after we started rehearsing, maybe about a month or so, and he decided he wanted to go someplace else because him and Crafton couldn't get along because both of them lead singers. So that's how it became 4 without James, who came before us. And from then on, we just moved on up the ladder.
Well, tell me, how did you get hooked up with Harvey Fuqua?
Oh, Harvey came in town. This was back in 57, 58. He came to town, and we got a chance to meet him through Barry Gordy's sister, Gwen Gordy. And at that time, Stevenson, the guy that was producing records for Anna Records back then, And Harvey, we met Harvey, and the Spinners, we became real good friends. And at that time, like I told you before, we was mimicking the other artists that's out there, the other singing groups, and we was based the harmony on what we heard on the radio, So Harvey is the one that came in and taught us how to sing correctly and put everybody's voice where it's supposed to be. And in fact, the harmony that you hear now is the harmony that Harvey set up for the Spinners. And he became our first manager.
Was he ever a member of the group as a singer?
Well, Harvey was the leader of the Moonglows.
I know that, but did he ever really sing with the Spinners?
Oh, no. Well, we went out on 2 occasions. We did, because he had contracts that he had to fulfill. And I think there was 2 engagements that we went out with him as the Moonglows. But then no one knew it because no one knew the Spinners at the time, So we went out and did a couple of engagements with him as the Moonglows. And this was the only time that we sang other than our own name.
Okay, your first release was on his Tri-Fi label. That's what Girls Are Made For. Tell us about that.
Okay, Tri-Fi Records. After Harvey became our manager and started rehearsing us and teaching us the harmonies and everything, him and Gwen formed a record company called Tri-Fi Records. And they wrote a song called That's What Girls Are Made For. And this is going, I'm talking fast now because we're going years past everything. And he formed Tri-Fi Records. Him and Gwen formed Tri-Fi Records. And the Spinners were the first artists on that label. And they wrote and produced the song That's What Girls Are Made For. and they released it. We released that in, I think, it was early spring in 1961, and that became a top 40 hit around the country. And so that's how our name got so prominent out there in the entertainment world.
Okay, you were with Tri-Fi for that and what, one other song, Love I'm So Glad, and then basically no other chart records after that on Tri-Fi?
No. He had a couple of artists, but see, in '61, in the fall of '61, I was drafted into the military. So I spent 2 years in the service, and I came out in '63, and that's the year that Tri-Fi Records merged with Motown Records. So that is the way that we became Motown artists.
Okay, you went to Motown in '63. '64, you made your debut at the Apollo Theater in New York. Tell us about that.
Oh, that was great, man, because in '64, we had a producer named Ivy Hunter, and he produced our very first release on Motown called, I think it was Sweet Things, if my mind not failing me. And we had a chance to open at the Apollo Theater in New York, and that was, oh man, I mean that was big time. So Harvey had groomed us for years and years, and he always talked about the Apollo Theater because that's where all your big, large artists around the world that were so famous. You know, I'm talking about Sammy Davis Jr. and everybody like that. You know, and we had a chance to perform there, and it was oh man, it kind of blew our mind because everything was so. We never been into a theater with that type of glitter, should I say, and with all the pictures on the wall and all the fantastic artists that was great at the time and still great today, that's passed on. We had a chance to just to test and see how the entertainment world evolved around everything, you know. So that was our very first taste of the big time, being on that level, and it helped us a lot because Harvey taught us well, and he studied, gave us all the knowledge that he had from all the years of entertaining, and it helped us out a lot. So Apollo was a foundation of everything to come.
Okay, now were you on the Motown label per se, or were you on one of the subsidiary labels?
At the beginning, we was on Motown.
Okay.
At the beginning, we was on Motown. After so many years ago, we was there from '63, '64, and our contract ran out in 1970. So that's where we left there and went to Atlantic Records. But yeah, we stayed there for all those years, and we had producers like Ivy Hunter and the best producer that we had that helped us out a lot was Stevie Wonder in 1969. So he produced the record that he made so famous with the Spinners at the time.
Okay, you were on VIP in '70 when It's a Shame came out. Is that correct?
Right. VIP record.
Okay.
So that's when Stevie wrote, produced, and performed on that recording. And I swear to God, man, that was one of the sweetest songs. I mean, that song is great today. That's the second song in our lineup as we perform today. That song is loved around the world, man, and we get a lot of requests for it. So it's in the lineup at the top of the show.
Well, the '70s seemed like that was the heyday for the Spinners, with such hits as "It's a Shame," "I'll Be Around," and a bunch of things. Could it be I'm Falling in Love? But you signed with Atlantic, and was that at the urging of Aretha Franklin?
That was because Aretha was a good friend of ours at the time, and we was working together. And she realized, she let us know. She knew that we had just left Motown, and we were sitting there talking. And she said, guys, Atlantic Records is a good label because that's the one I'm assigned to. So she said you should talk to them, and she said, and they treat me nice. I'm quite sure they'll treat you nice too. So we had a chance to meet with them, and hey, we signed with them right away.
We're talking with Henry Frambrough of the Spinners, who are coming to Greensburg on Valentine's night with Eddie Holman, and 60 or 72 seemed like that was the year that you really took off with I'll Be Around, your first top 10 hit. Tell us about that.
Okay, that was because of our producer at the time, Tom Bell. Atlantic had signed Tom after we signed, and he signed with Atlantic Records to produce the artists on Atlantic Records, and he saw our name there. He said, "Well, I want to work with the Spinners." And I think they said something like, well, you sure? Look at all the other artists we have here. And all the big artists. He said, no, I want to work with the Spinners. And because of that, Tom used to be the keyboard player for the house band at the Uptown Theater in Philadelphia. So in other words, when all the acts that came through there and performed, he was playing the keyboard for the band that backed all of the artists there. So he remembered the Spinners coming through there from Desperate Girls and Made For on because of our sound that Harvey has taught us. And the sound that I'm speaking, if you played Desperate Girls Made For, you hear the sound that is not like any other artist that you're out there, So he heard that, and he told us, he said, look, when I saw y'all name, I wanted to produce you because when I played for the house band, when y'all sang there back in 61 and 62, he said, I remembered your harmony. He said, and with nobody else on the show sang that type of harmony, and I haven't heard it since. He said, y'all got a unique sound. He said, that's why I wanted to record on you.
Well, didn't he do something with Gamble and Huff, too?
Oh, yeah, he was big. He worked with the Stylistics, all the songs that you hear. That's Philadelphia sound,
That's what I thought. I know the name Thomas Bell, and he's been around for quite a few years.
Yes, yeah, him and well, the team that was so great for the Spinners is Tom Bell and Linda Creed, his writing partner, and Linda she did most of the sweet ballads that you hear from the Spinners, and she was great. She was great, man. She had her and Harvey, her and Tom made up a great team together, and they wrote together, and we had great fun just working with them.
One of your best hits came out in '73. Could It Be I'm Falling in Love? What can you tell us about that?
Yes, but Could It Be I'm Falling in Love was one of the songs that Tom produced on us and brought to us after we had the meeting at the beginning, because he came to Detroit and he brought his tape recorder, and we had a big meeting, and we sat down, and he had the Spinners one by one to sing whatever he wanted to into the mic, so he could record and concentrate on our sound. And he went back, and he says, when I come back, I'm going to have some songs for you guys, because I'm going to put my writing team together, and we have some songs for you guys. So he came back about after 3 or 4 months, and out of the song that he had to record is I'll Be Around, Could It Be I'm Falling in Love, How Could I Let You Get Away, and Just You and Me, Baby. And out of those 4 songs, 3 of them went gold right away.
That's
In
not a
fact,
bad.
the first release was "How Could I Let You Get Away," and there was a disc jockey in Buffalo, New York. He flipped it over, and on the other side, "Well, I'll Be Around." I mean, "Could Be a Phone in Love," and that record took off, man. I'm telling you, we had a number one hit, A and B. "How Could I Let You Get Away" and "Could It Be a Phone in Love."
Okay, one thing I've been remiss about, do you have a website that you would like to mention?
Yeah, it's called the Spinners. It's called the Mighty Spinners. Most of our guys that work with it, I'm not that good at the website and everything, but Jesse and everybody, our manager, and they're the one that handle all of that, and it's up there, the Mighty Spinners, and they got it set up, and you can go in and chat with each one of us, listen to some songs and see where we're going to be appearing, just in case we'll be in your neighborhood, you know.
Well, you definitely are going to be in our neighborhood 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Oh yes, we're glad to be here. Oh yes, looking forward to all our fans coming out, and I'll tell you this, we probably doing the same show we've been doing it for the last couple of years, because we found out that we can't deviate, leave that the show run down too much from left to right, because our fan wants to hear what they want to hear, and most of the thing they want to hear is all of the hits, all up including Rubber Band Man and everything else, you know. So we'll be doing the regular show and looking to see all our fans out there. I hope you get a chance to say hello to you that night, okay?
I am planning on being down there, definitely. Okay, tell me about your collaboration with Dionne Warwick. Then came you. How did that happen to come about?
Oh, that came about real great, because what happened, our manager at the time was Buddy Allen Management. We had just signed with him in 63, 64. And Dionne, she toured the country, and she had places that she sang in, performed in, theaters in and around, and in Las Vegas and Lake Tahoe, all the nice clubs around the country, you know. And so our manager put us with her, and as we worked, she approached Tom Bell to produce on her, but Tom told us that he couldn't produce on her, but he would collaborate with her and spin us together. So him and Linda got together, and they wrote that song for Dionne and the Spinners. So that's how we got together with her.
Now, that was a real big hit for you. You had other hits like Games People Play, and you mentioned Rubber Band Man.
Yeah.
Then a little bit later, you came into the medleys. Tell us about Working My Way Back to You and Forgive Me Girl and Cupid and I've Loved You for a Long Time. Two great medleys, and they both hit top 10 for you. Is that correct?
Yes, it was very great, because after we left Motown, after we left Atlantic Records, and Tom Bell wasn't producing us anymore, so we teamed with Love Zager, Michael Zager, and on Love Zager writing team, and he is the one that produced Working My Way Back to You and Cupid on us. And I can tell you for one thing, man, it was great working with him. He's a truly professional man, and we love his producing and also his writing. And he went back and got that Working My Way Back to You from and put it together like he did, like you hear it today. And that song did, I mean, it took off, and we did millions and millions for that. And following up with that, he did the same thing with Cupid, and the same thing happened with that one. So that was a great run with Mike Zager and the Love Zager team.
Well, have you had any chart records since 1980?
No, we haven't. Well, we produced a couple of albums from from a different artist, but it wasn't major. It wasn't anything major. So we didn't want to start recording and putting stuff out there that wasn't good. So we waited, and at that time, our guys, the originals, we was from the 1970s on up until 2005. At that time, my four guys that was ahead of me, that was singing with me, they passed away one by one between '05 and 12. Bobby was the last one to pass in 2012, and I had to rehearse and put new guys in their place as they passed away, and I got to say, man, the spinners that you hear today is just as good as the one that at the beginning.
I believe that. Now, tell us about some of the awards that you have got. I know you got inducted into the Vocal Group Hall of Fame in 1999, and I believe you were nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame last year.
Well, we've been nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the last 3 years, and we keep saying, well, sooner or later, But our most prized award that we've had was in 1976. We got our star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, so we got a star in Hollywood, and we got that in the summer of 1976. And I mean, that was so great, man. I swear to God, it was so great. What was so good about it? We was the second black group to be on, to have that honor, okay? And I think the first group that had to have that honor, African American, was the Moonglows. Not the Moonglows, but the Mills Brothers. And the Mills Brothers was number one, the Spinners number two, and after that, So that was where I won our prize, that one, in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We hope that to come through for us too.
Well,
we were nominated for Grammys for about 5 or 6 times, but we never won. But we was nominated a lot for that.
Okay. Any current projects underway for the Spinners?
Well, right now we a couple of guys in the group are writing, and we're gonna get some songs together, get some material together. But we're not rushing, because we're gonna try to choose some songs, and because people they're always sitting in material, But music today have changed so much, So we're trying to take our time and choose the material that we think that would be good for today's artists and today's the way the music is going today. And it's going to be kind of tricky, because music now is not anything like the music in the 70s at all, Because back in the 70s, rock and roll and everything was saying about love and happiness. You could pick up any song, and it was always about love, and always about your sweetheart or something like that, But music went around the corner, man, So we have to be very careful not to antagonize our listeners, the Spinners fan, because I don't think they want us to go in another direction to the point where it'll be derogatory for our name. And even at that, I wouldn't want to do that, and I'm not going to do it. So we'll be taking our time and choosing the right material for today.
Have you ever done a Christmas song?
Not live. I mean, not recorded. That was one of our things that we regretted that we didn't get a chance to do.
Well, hopefully you can.
We sang Christmas songs when we were working during that type of year. We sang Christmas songs on the show.
Okay, hardest question for you. Do you have a favorite of all the Spinner songs?
Oh, man. Not one favorite. I have the Mighty Love album is kind of sticks out in my mind, kind of up there. And I like that song, and because I like Mighty Love, and I like the songs that's on that album. That's probably one of my favorites.
What would you say is the your signature song?
Oh man, it won't be one song. We can't. Ain't no way we can choose one song because we were so blessed to have multiple songs out there. We get requests for "Working My Way Back to You." I mean, we get a lot of requests for that, and "Rubber Band Man," you know, 'cause we got to do that one, and we also have to do "Could It Be on Phone and Love, I'll Be Around," and then came you.
And can't could it be I'm falling in love? You have to do too, don't you?
Oh yes, could it be? That's the we open with that
Okay.
right today.
Well, which one of the Spinner songs would you like me to play right now?
I tell you what, play any one song that you want to play, and or maybe you might want to have someone call in and let you know what they want to hear.
Well,
Whatever you want to play, it's great. I love them all.
okay, well, I'll tell you what. We are going to play Could It Be I'm Falling in Love? And if
All
you
right.
would be so kind to introduce it to our listening audience, we are going to go ahead and get it up and running.
Okay, well, thank you so much for having me. And ladies and gentlemen, this song was released back in 1973, and Tom Bell was the producer. And Could It Be Falling in Love was one of our very first million sellers. The Spinners, Could It Be on Falling in Love.